With misinformation and fake news being spread all the time on social media, 3 young women and best friends, Lucy, Olivia and Ruby, decided to make an Instagram page calling for people to get short, sharp and concise quality information. Their page has more than 3 million followers, and with the Delta outbreak affecting New Zealand, it's as important as ever people are getting the correct facts. So, joining us to talk about their popular Instagram page and how they're helping stop the spread of misinformation is Lucy Blakiston, one of the co-creators. Morena, Lucy.
Morena, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Are you okay?
I am okay. I'm in lockdown, loving life with all of you.
It's a weird time, right? It's a weird time around the world.
Yeah. And I digest it all every day, and as aware as I can be of what's happening around the world.
Yeah, how do you find that? Is that quite tiresome, having to kind of be so connected to so much information all the time?
It's my hobby. Like, I think I still love it. I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and I think as long as I'm loving it still, hopefully I'll be kind of good at it. So it's still my hobby. I still love it. I don't get weighed down by it yet.
Okay, good. But I guess now more than ever, it's like a really crucial time that people know that there's places they can go to find accurate, concise information.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much information out there right now that people are kind of fatigued, and if you can just give it to them in like nice bullet points with a few swear words, like words we all use, and it makes them feel really heard, I feel like it seems like we're their mates rather than sort of authority, so people kind of like to hear what's going on from us.
Nice, and from voices that they kind of resonate with and connect to, I guess, as well.
Yeah, I am literally, it's like if I'm talking to our audience every day, I know what they like, I know what I like, and usually we can find a way to communicate quite nicely with each other.
Good.
I mean, there's the odd troll. But.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But to start with, I wanted to just get a bit of, bit of the story of how this actually came to be. How did the 3 of you kind of put this together?
So we're from Blenheim, me, Rubes and Liv, and we've been best mates since we were like 15. We've been sisters, and we've always just, when you're in a small town and you're just sort of, all there is to do is talk about the world and have like existential crisis one after another. And so we've always been really interested in the world. And then we went to uni, and then I was actually just sitting in a lecture theatre, and I was studying international relations, and I just wasn't understanding. I wasn't picking up what my lecturer was putting down. Mm-hmm. I wasn't getting all the references, and I was thinking, I've been here for 3 years now. I should probably be understanding what's happening in the world. And then I realized it was just because the news was so long, so full of jargon. No one was using the words that me and my mates were using. And so I texted Ruby and Liv and said, do you want to start something called Shit You Should Care About? Which Maddie told me before we got on here that he encouraged me to say the brand name. So sorry for swearing for little ears out there. But yeah, I texted them. We're best mates, and somehow they always trust me and sort of back up weird ideas. And now 3 years on, we're living the dream. Yeah,
and so what kind of things are you covering? Anything and everything, right? Global issues, things that are relevant to us here in New Zealand, but things that perhaps we have no idea about being here in New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, I think the beautiful thing about our platform is that you are allowed to be interested in whatever. I mean, if you look at our Instagram feed, you see a lot of Harry Styles, because I'm a big advocate for just people being interested in whatever they want. One of them for us is Harry Styles. That's okay. And then you've got like the climate is the biggest thing that young people care about at the moment. And then you have pop culture. You're allowed to care about whatever you want. And I want you should care about to be a safe space for all of that.
Totally. And obviously COVID and vaccines and all of that kind of thing are a big hot topic issue for people at the moment. And there is a lot of misinformation out there. So how do you kind of disseminate what's right and what's wrong, and what you post and what you don't post?
That's a big question. I think the first thing is our whole our whole sort of tagline is that we're not experts, and I would usually sort of tell people to go and get their own information. But in this case, we know what happens when people go and do their own research. So I think like getting trusted sources, the government, you know, like the health officials, I'm not in any position to go against science or health experts. And so just taking the floods of information, brilliant information that we have at all of our fingertips, and just getting the most important stuff, the most easy to understand stuff, so that it doesn't feel like a mission, and just, yeah, I trust who I need to trust.
Yeah. I guess there's a bit of a common misconception, I think, about young people and the fact that they might be disconnected or disengaged with global issues. But that's not true, right? Young people especially, really care about what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I think, well, that's a huge misconception. I wonder if it's changing, but young people, they give lots of shits about lots of things.
Yeah, but equally, your audience has changed, right? Jenny May follows you, I follow you, there's celebrities around the world that follow you. I saw Ariana Grande follows you on Instagram.
That's wild. That is actually weird, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the audience has changed, right?
I mean, the audience, we never went out to sort of target anyone, so I don't know what it has gone from or to. It's just sort of grown, I think.
Wow, right. But it must be kind of amazing to think that you've got 3.4 million people that are tuning into what you're saying and what you're sharing.
Yeah, if I thought too hard about it, I'd probably be too scared to post or share anything, because there's a lot of people. So thank you for that morning reminder, Maddie.
You're welcome.
No, but it's amazing. I love, communication is my favorite thing to do. I get to do it on this real weird scale. So it's cool.
And this has kind of turned into you called it a hobby at the start, but this has turned into a full-time job, right?
Yes, it is. So now me, Rubes, and Liv, I think last time we spoke to you, it was definitely not a full-time job, but now it is.
Awesome. And it's changed, right? There's a website, there's podcasts, there's all sorts of platforms.
There is. Yeah, so it's our biggest thing at the moment is a morning newsletter that I get up and send out every day, because we don't have time to be reading all the news sources and stuff, so I just sum it up, and that's the highlight of my lockdown and my life at the moment.
I love it. Hey, well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for giving us information. Honestly, there are definitely times where I turn to your Instagram page to help me figure out what's going on as well. So I really appreciate it. And also, big fan of Harry Styles, so not opposed to a little bit of Harry Styles posting from time to time as well. Luce.
Love that. Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, and congratulations on all of your successes. That is Lucy Blakiston from Stuff You Should Care About. Shiz. Yeah. Thanks, Luce.
Thank you.